Hi, welcome to Hope and Light Associate. I was getting an echo. That was weird. Okay, we're good now. Thanks for joining us this evening. We're gonna have a little bit of a different discussion, but it's actually a continuation of a couple weeks ago. So we'll get into that in just a second. Because first, we have to thank some very important people. Area 52 Media Group and John Gaston for helping us produce the show, with Joseph behind the scenes for me today again. Yay! You want to do your own show, please get a hold of John. Like I've said, before, you can do it from anywhere. They're in Georgia. Actually, he's somewhere else right now, but Joseph is in Georgia, and I'm here in Florida, where it's really super hot, just like everywhere. Oh, I guess he's hunting Bigfoot in West Virginia. Okay. That makes sense. So, anyways, if you want to do your own show, please get a hold of them. And, you can help sponsor our show too. So you can get a hold of me at the foundation for that. Also, our sponsors, Dylan Gaston with the mortgage firm. Anything mortgages, I've been referring her a lot lately. People are having, a lot of questions about mortgages. I don't know what's going on with the market. I see a lot of homes for sale in my area again. But anyways, she's who I would trust. Yeah, that's who you go with. And then, of course, Tammy White Galleries and Custom Framing. That's us, who are also sponsors and hosts of Art for Hope, which we'll talk about in just one second, because we're still having our support groups throughout the summer. So the next ones are actually this month we still have one. The Newport Richie group meets Thursday, which is what? June, July. I can't believe we're in July. July 16th at the Oasis Coffee Spot in Newport Richie. And then the next Spring Hill group meets on August 12th. Yep. Alrighty. So remember, those groups are free to attend. You don't have to register. You can just show up. Hopefully, you feel like it. I know that support groups aren't for everybody, but our support groups are really good. And the feedback that we get is that it's, it really helps them, people to know that, they're not alone in this journey. It's a horrible journey to be on, but you don't have to travel it alone. We have people that are doing it also. And yeah. And I know that sometimes, because I feel this way even when I'm doing other things out in the community. It's like, okay, I'm going to go to this and it's going to be okay. And then it comes time and then I really don't want to go. Most of the time I do end up going. And then by the time I get there, it's okay. And I'm glad that I went. And going to a group like this can feel that way very easily, very easily. But again, you're with people that understand what you're dealing with, and because not everybody does, unless you've been here. So and so for that, like I said, Art for Hope is coming up again. We really need some sponsors for that. We need gift basket donations. And if you can't do a gift basket, if you could just get us some items, gift cards, your business paraphernalia, we can put baskets together. We always end up having awesome gift basket lineup. I mean, people still, even though, we like to get them, ahead of time so we can get it set up, but inevitably the evening of the event, people are walking in with gift baskets, and which is great. We'll take them because we end up with some really great gift baskets to raffle off. So there's going to be a lot of art. Actually, I think I got to get my stuff together. I'll start showing some art that will be available at Art for Hope. Yeah, we'll start doing that again. Show art that'll be available, and even we'll make it available prior to Art for Hope if you really like it. Then you can get it before the event and don't have to wait. And somebody might snatch it from you. Don't want that. Yeah, I'll start doing that. We'll start putting up some artwork that'll be available. We have all sorts of art. We're gonna have a different mixed media too coming in this year. Yeah, it's going to be a great event. And I think I did because that's what we talked about last week. We have a really awesome keynote speaker, Eloy Nunez, and his son, who again, he's a retired Miami police officer and past Rotary District governor for our district in our 4 counties here: Citrus, Hernando, Pasco, and Pinellas. So it's going to be really great. He's a really great speaker. I'm excited to meet his son, and it's not a sad evening. And I keep telling everybody that. And people that have been to it, they'll tell you that it was great. They really enjoyed it, and they're coming back. And it's just a night of community. Awareness, education. It's a good evening, and we have free hors d'oeuvres, light hors d'oeuvres. I'd say cash bar, but you have to change that to credit card bar now because a lot of these establishments are not taking cash anymore. So, anyways, it's going to be a fun night, and it falls on International Suicide Prevention Day, and that's the first time that we've had this. This is our 9th year, and this is the first time that it falls on National Suicide Prevention Day. We always have it that week. September is Suicide Prevention Month. The week of the 10th is Suicide Prevention Week, and then the day. So I came across this past week another event that is going to be coming up here in July. I think it's July 25th. There we go. I came across this event this past week, and I spoke to the gal that is putting it on. This is her first event. It's going to be at the Hudson Civic Center. She lost her mother to suicide, and then a couple of years later lost her sister, and she has a teenage daughter that struggles. So I spoke with her. Well, actually, we didn't actually speak. We were messaging on Messenger, and I had her send this flyer over. And was hoping to get her on the show prior to the event, but I think we only have maybe one more show prior to. We got here. Yeah, she'd have to be on next week. So I'm going to work on that. She's kind of nervous about it, but I said she doesn't have to be, and I'd help her out. It'll be interesting. It is really super, super hot here, and having an event in the summertime like this outside. But she's bringing awareness to another part of the community. So we'll be there, and we'll see how it goes and see what we can do to help her out. It's it's difficult for all of us, and she's trying to bring also awareness to of course the veterans who have a high rate of suicide, but even this affects all communities. Like I've said before, suicide does not discriminate. It doesn't matter your race, your age, where you're at economically or in your professions. It doesn't discriminate, and it's one of the things that makes it so difficult to nail down, but also the fact that it's not just one thing that causes it. It's usually accumulation of a lot of things happening, and our brain really tricks us. So I had mentioned a couple weeks ago about this meditation practice called Tonglen. And we went into it briefly, and I wanted to do a little bit more because, and I know meditation, just like a support group, isn't for everybody, but it does help me. I a lot of times have such a busy brain, and especially when I'm not supposed to have a busy brain. Um, when I go to bed in the evening, or even when I try and meditate. Now, there's a lot of different um, guided meditations, which are really, really good for people that are maybe just starting to meditate or want to look into meditating. It's not hard, and you don't have to do it for hours on end. You could do it for 5 minutes. But there's a lot of guided meditations on YouTube that are very helpful. Um, but even sometimes when I use the guided meditations, my brain will start going off into different directions, and I have to try and rein it back in. And came across this. Um, it's a Buddhist meditation, Tonglen. There we go. And again, this isn't going to be for everybody, and it sounds counterintuitive at first when you look into it. I'm pull this up here so I can see better there. Even okay. This is why people practice Tonglen: to develop compassion for yourselves and for others, become less afraid of difficult emotions. That this is really important because oftentimes we don't want to have to deal with the bad emotions, and we run from, or we push them away, or we push them down inside us. Alcohol, drugs, um, risky behavior, just to not have to think and deal with it. To feel more connected to the shared human experience. Transform feelings of grief and anger and helplessness into loving intention. To reduce self-centered thinking by focusing on the well-being of others. And I started to do this a few weeks ago, and it actually really came about after my neighbor's dog died suddenly. And I had noticed for myself, even prior to this, and that might be kind of a way of doing this sort of thing. Oftentimes when I'd be driving somewhere and I see somebody is having car trouble and they're off to the side of the road, and there's nothing I can do personally. I'm not in a position to be able to stop or to help. But I always do like a little prayer for the person, um, in hopes that safe help comes really soon for them, and it's not a really bad situation. So with Tonglen, you can do a regular 10-minute meditation or longer, or you can also do just like a brief meditation. But like I said, it's not, it may not be for everyone, but I really think that it helps me because I know that even though, like I said, it seems counterintuitive, because what you're doing is you're bringing in the hurt and the anguish, or, not good feelings, either for yourself or for others, but you're releasing back to them hope and brightness and love. So here we have Tonglen can be emotionally powerful if you experience intense grief, trauma, severe anxiety, or emotional overwhelm. It may be better to you can begin with short practices. You practice breathing and use just gentle practices. It's really just, I don't know how to really explain the feeling. It's relaxing and releasing at the same time. I've been doing it a little more often. I've been trying to do it almost every day. And like I said, sometimes I'll do, because I've just started doing it, I don't do more than a 10-minute meditation session. But when I hear of somebody going through a difficult time, or like I talked to my neighbor and she's having, a rough time because it's only been 3 weeks. And I know it might sound weird, but anybody that's a pet lover, it's not weird because we love our furry babies just sometimes as much or more than our humans. Stella was just such a, it was her life. And Stella was a huge part of my life too. Like I said, when she got Stella 12 and a half years ago, a little over that, Bobby was still here, thankfully. He told her that she had better outlive that dog under no uncertain terms, because he knew we would end up with her. Well, she did. Stella even outlived Bobby. But I know that, when Kathy has a hard time, and she shares with me, she's been through this journey with me losing Bobby the whole entire time. She's been the one person. I mean, I have a lot of people. I do a lot. And, people check in on me. But Kathy is the one person that every single day, at least once a day, we're in contact. She's been there steady all the time. I know if anything, she's just next door. And the same thing, vice versa. But anyway, so I know, she's having a hard time. So we talk. And sometimes when I get off the phone, then I'll just do a short little Tonglen practice. It doesn't take much time. And hopefully, and I really believe this is true, hopefully it's releasing some good energy into the universe for her. We have so many people that are suffering. Things are just really strange right now. Fortunately, for the most part, people are coming together because of the World Cup. And unfortunately, the U.S. lost to Belgium, but it still has been kind of something unifying when we have so many people that are divisive and cause problems. It's been kind of a unifying time. And And it's funny because that's what we had been looking forward to, and we'll watch sports stuff. She at her house and me at my house, and then we'll text back and forth. We've been doing that for years, especially with the hockey games, but we were doing it too with soccer a little bit. But it's nice to think that you can do something just a little to put out good energy into the universe to help yourself or to help others. You can help total strangers, and they don't even have to know. I think it's a good thing. When I hear about another suicide in our community or read about one, um, in our country, anywhere, you, I just know the pain that these families are going through. And, with social media, it makes it so hard because so many people can be so heartless and make just such uneducated, stupid comments. And it's hard enough for the families to have to deal with. We don't, people like that they don't understand. Excuse me. And then, but two, I know people that have lost someone to suicide and are so bitter and angry, and they still say stupid things, mean, hurtful things. We need compassion. We need more compassion in the world. So things like this Tonglen practice, can help bring some of that compassion and humanity back to people. So I'm going to walk you through a short Tonglen practice. If Joseph can put that up, because then it'll help me a little bit. Because, I can do it in my brain, but it's easier if I have a cheat sheet. So you want to sit comfortably in any position. You can sit in any position that is comfortable for you. You can even lay down in your bed. They have, you got the yoga position. I can't get my legs and sit comfortably in that position. Or you can sit in a chair with your feet touching the ground. Oftentimes I'll just because for me, sitting up super straight like that, I do it here. I don't know why I can't do it meditating, but isn't comfortable for me. So I'll either sit in my recliner, lounged back, or in bed, because I do morning meditations before I get up, and when I go to bed in the evening. So whatever is going to be comfortable for you. And you bring into mind someone who is suffering. It can even just be yourself. If you don't think of anybody else, and that's perfectly fine, because that what are we here for? We're going through our own grief. But if you think of somebody else that may be suffering, okay. So as you inhale, imagine breathing in their pain as a dark cloud. We've got little pictures there. So breathe in somebody or your own. Breathe in deep as you can breathe. And hold it breathe it in. And it takes practice, but breathe it in and bring it down to your heart. And as you're bringing it down to your heart, as it comes to your heart, let that dark cloud dissolve. Just let it dissolve. And as you exhale, imagine sending a bright light of peace, strength, and healing, or love, just as a bright, radiant light. Now, you can do this, like I said, you could do this once as you're passing somebody who may look like they might be having a hard time, or you can do a longer meditation, whatever's comfortable for you. You just repeat the process. And when you breathe out that love and compassion and healing, either for yourself or someone else, it really releases some stress and tension in our own bodies. At least it does for me. And you feel better. I'm going to continue doing this. I add it to my other things that I do to try and keep my brain from overloading. It helps. It helps me. It may not be for you, but I like to explore tools to help me with my grief and mourning, which continues 10 years later, in hopes that someday it's going to be relieved. It won't be totally relieved, but it'll be relieved. So our quote for today is, when we breathe in suffering, we open our hearts to the world. When we breathe out compassion, we bring healing to the world and to ourselves. Right? So please remember to have these phone numbers either in your phone or memorized. The easiest one is 988, the National Suicide Prevention Lifelines. You could just be the one to bring someone else hope. And using this Tonglen meditation, you can do that also for someone or for yourself. Because I always believe there is always hope. Thank you for joining us this evening.